Hey, John here. Just got back from doing some traveling in Europe, and I'm now back in West Africa. And on the way back, I tried something a little bit different with my carry-on bag that I want to tell you about. I'm calling it the seat bag. So what I did was normally I have a carry-on bag like this. This is an Eagle Creek, just kind of normal day bag style that I'll use in my carry-on bag. And what I've got in here is basically just everything that I don't want to check. So mostly it's mostly it's my electronics, my laptop, and those sorts of things. And that's really the primary purpose. When I kind of break down what do I carry onto the plane with me, it's those things that are expensive or valuable or hard to replace that I don't want to check, and what I want to use during the flight. So I used to kind of try to keep this bag with me in my seat, and the reason being is I always try to get a window seat. That way I can kind of rack out and lean against the side of the plane while I'm sleeping. But a bag that's this size takes up quite a bit of space. It basically takes up all your space in your foot compartment. So what I played around with was separating what I actually needed at my seat from everything else. And I did it with just a stuff sack that could be pulled out of my day bag. So the day bag went into the overhead compartment, and this stuff sack is what I brought to the seat with me. And it's small enough that I'm actually able to put it in between the seat and then the fuselage, or the wall of the aircraft. So I have all the foot room that I need, which is important when you're traveling, in coach. If you're not traveling in business class or first class, you have to maximize whatever space they're going to give you, because it's not a lot. So what do I carry inside here? We'll just pull it out, and this is in no particular order. The first one is going to be my neck pillow. I use an inflatable one, so obviously it's very thin when it's deflated. When you blow it up, it's the size of a normal one, but it doesn't take up all that extra room. You see a lot of people carrying the big full-size ones, like lashed onto the outside of their pack. I think it's kind of a waste of space. So I'm really a fan of these light, compactable ones. I believe this one's made by REI. Next is just going to be a really lightweight long sleeve, and I use this just if it gets cold on the plane, if it's cold in the airport, if I get caught in the rain, going in or out of the airport. Even on a kind of warm day or in a warm climate, the air conditioning can make it pretty cool, especially if you got wet in any way. So always some type of long sleeve, and then for me, a simple fleece hat. And reason is, without a lot of insulation up top, it does get cold. Next is earplugs, and these are Israeli earplugs that work very, very well at blocking out all the noise. It's actually amazing when you put these things in. You wear them for a couple minutes, and everything just goes quiet. And then when you pull them out, you can't believe how loud the engines are on the plane, especially if you're seated near one of the wings, which is where I always seem to end up. So very useful for if you're trying to catch some sleep, just relax, or you want to kind of make it clear to the person sitting next to you that you're not in the mood to talk. Earplugs. And then the eye shade. I'm going to be really honest, I almost never use this. Like, I can't think of any time in the recent past when I have, and it's odd that I carry it. Because normally I'm pretty good about kind of chucking the things that I don't use. Quite honestly, I'd probably feel like a dork wearing it if I wasn't, if I was in public. But it always seems to make it in the bag, so probably just gonna keep bringing it. Maybe it'll come in really handy someday. A little TSA approved bag, and really all I'm putting in here is some hand sanitizer. These are great. The Wisp toothbrushes. They're a one-time use little disposable toothbrush, so after like that 9-hour flight with 3 meals and coffee and your breath's really funky, you can kind of freshen up before you get off the plane. And that, along with some eye drops, because it's so dry on the plane. I often find that it irritates my eyes. Notebook, Moleskine, Moleskine. It's got an E at the end of it. I don't know how you pronounce it, but like truly the world's greatest notebooks. They always say that that's their tagline, but I agree wholeheartedly. They're awesome. And this #1 traveling companion is the Kindle by Amazon. Huge fan. I think I've got something like 150 books in something smaller than a paperback on this right now. I don't go anywhere without it. This is like, besides my laptop, this is one of my electrical devices, tools, that if I were to lose it or have it stolen or something, my kind of world would come to a screeching halt and I'd be forced to replace it immediately. I love my Kindle. I'm a huge reader. I don't watch a lot of TV, if any. It's great just to have reference books on it too. Things that you wouldn't lug around your suitcase, but you might want to look up during your trip. In fact, that's probably worthy of its own blog. So I'm gonna save talking about the Kindle for another blog soon. The iPhone, standard. This is, I think they call it the T2G. It's the original iPhone. Nothing fancy about it, but great for traveling. This one's actually jailbroken and unlocked, which I'll talk about and maybe in another post. But what it lets you do is anywhere I go, I can buy a local prepaid SIM card, pop it in, and I'm up on their network. So I carry a little collection of SIM cards with me for countries that I frequent, and it's great. It doubles as an iPod. Also, iPod, you can have movies on it too, so good for killing time. Along those lines, these are noise canceling headphones. They're made by Philips, and I think we're all probably familiar with the Bose ones. Those are like the really nice, pricey, high-end. These are like $40, but they do the job. They've got this little box here, which actually has the brains of it that does the noise canceling. They fit in kind of an in-ear style, and they terminate in just a normal jack. And this is a airline-friendly one that I think I took from a Delta Airlines flight. The airlines are getting tricky about this now. They give you the headphones and it's permanently attached, so you can't take it with you. But if you ever find one that's not attached, just pocket it, because it's pretty useful to use your own headphones, especially if you want to spend the $40, $50 for some noise canceling ones. It makes a huge difference in being able to hear the movie. Regular iPhone headphones, handy for Skype too. If you have free Wi-Fi in the airport, which is getting more and more rare these days, but even if you want to pay for it, when I flew through Stuttgart, it was €8 for an hour. A little pricey, but it's nice to be able to kind of call home, and very easy. You can leave the iPhone in your pocket and just talk. Small flashlight, easy for finding things in the dark, always good to have. And then finally, the Buyer's Guide for Outside Magazine, great read. Had a great time going through it on my last flight, and that's it. So that's the 2-bag system, or the seat bag as I'm calling it. Quite simply, get a small stuff sack, just big enough for what you need. My bulkiest item is a magazine, so that dictates how big this is going to be. Put only what you need at your seat, store everything else in the overhead, and then you can tuck this away anywhere. You'll just forget about it. It's way better than putting things in the front pocket seat in front of you, because quite frankly, you might lose them. They fall to the bottom, you forget them. So having something like this kind of keeps it all together. And if you have 90% of what you need for the flight at your seat, especially if you're in the window seat, you don't have to keep climbing over that guy next to you trying to get up into the overhead bins. Give it a try. Let me know how it works for you. I'll let you know if I refine it anymore, and I'd love to hear about it in the comments. All right, take care.